Josh Giddey is a 6'8" playmaking point guard who played for the Adelaide 36ers in the NBL last season. He came into the year with the possibility of becoming a first-round pick, but he has exceeded almost all expectations and now will likely be a lottery pick in this year's NBA draft. I'm Thomas Stapleton, and today I'm going to break down Josh Giddey's skill set, but before I do, make sure to download the official TWSN mobile app and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Josh Giddey's passing is by far his most enticing trait. At 6'8", Giddey is the best passer in this year's draft. He's an elite pick-and-roll player because of his patience, timing, and awareness. Every pass that he makes is accurate, and he's always got his head up looking to find the open man. When he gets downhill, he's incredible at throwing corner skip passes to shooters and hitting the roll man. In Australia, the big men he was playing with weren't the most skilled, but in the NBA, he can be more lethal if he's paired with a rim-running, athletic big because they'll be able to finish plays better. If I were a team looking to draft Josh Giddey, the one thing I'd feel really good about is knowing that you can run a drive and kick, pick and roll centric offense around Giddey because of how dynamic he is as a passer and a playmaker. He's pass first, he's unselfish, and he makes everyone around him better. And those guys just tend to win a lot at the next level. Giddey's scoring is something that I think is worth betting on to develop as well. He averaged just 10.9 points per game on pretty low efficiency from the field and three during his rookie year in the NBL. But there are a couple of reasons why I think he can be a good scorer in the league. The first is his finishing ability. Giddey is not a great athlete, and getting downhill consistently isn't something he'll be able to do in the league. However, he prefers to slash and he gets to the basket more than anything else, and he's a really solid finisher around the rim. He has awesome touch on floaters and runners, he's ambidextrous around the rim, and he absorbs contact really well. With his poor athleticism, he's a below-the-rim finisher, but he makes up for that with amazing finishing craft. I could really see Giddey being a plus finisher in the league as he adds strength and becomes even more comfortable with contact finishing. His shooting is one of his biggest swing skills right now as well. The indicators for his future shooting success are good, not great, as he has a near 70% free throw percentage, great touch, and he's got good volume. But mechanically speaking, he has a couple of flaws. His base when he shoots is very concerning, and his form is stiff and awkward. He needs to smooth out his shot and quicken his release as well. However, the good thing about all of these issues is that they're all completely fixable. It may take a couple of years, but I'm very confident about Josh Giddey's shooting upside long term, because like I said, all the issues are fixable, and he should only continue to get better as he's taking more and more threes. Josh Giddey's defense is where things are a bit more complicated. As an on-ball defender, Giddey was, simply put, really poor during his season in the NBL. His lack of athleticism and lateral quickness make it really tough for him to contain drivers, and he got blown by. A lot. He's not toolsy at all, and his effort on the defensive end was quite poor. However, he has the size to at least be switchable, and he can hold his own against less dynamic scorers. I think the best area of his defense, though, by far really, is his team defense. Giddey is super smart, and he's always making correct rotations. However, he's not a mistake eraser, and his awareness can be lacking at times, which is quite odd considering his high basketball IQ. I'm very skeptical that he'll ever be a lockdown defender, but he definitely has the potential to be neutral on that end of the floor in terms of impact. His main issue to me is just his overall effort. Giddey has the size, basketball IQ, and team defense instincts to be serviceable. It will just come down to how much he really wants to grind on defense. The potential is there for him to grow, and I'm confident that at the very least, he'll get better on that end. Giddey has two large swing skills that I think will determine if he's an all-star in the NBA or simply just a solid floor general. The first one is obvious, his shooting ability. Giddey has encouraging touch and volume while displaying solid shot versatility. He's already trying pull-up threes, step-back threes, side-step threes, and that's really good for projecting his shooting outcome. However, his form does need to be reworked. I definitely don't think it needs to be completely overhauled, but it does need to be a bit retooled. His catch-and-shoot game needs to improve if he wants to be a good off-ball player, and he needs to continue to add range to his shot. But if his shot develops, he's going to be a really good player for a really long time. Another swing skill that he has is something we haven't really talked about, and I think it's a bit unique, and that's his handle. Let's be clear, his handle isn't bad. He loves to be crafty, he's shown flashes of tight, quick moves that help shake defenders, and it's not really a huge weakness. However, he can be loose and sloppy with his handle, and he really needs to work on tightening a lot of his moves. His posture is also a problem because he can't get super low, and that makes him a high dribbler. That makes it easier for guards to swipe and steal the ball from him. If he can improve his handle, he'll be much more dangerous in the pick and roll, and getting to the basket will just become so much more easy for him. It's important to know that Josh Giddey is one of the youngest prospects in this year's class, with an insane growth curve as a player. He's also not done growing, literally. He's 6'8", but it's rumored that he's grown to 6'9". He could possibly continue to get taller, which is crazy. Imagine Josh Giddey with his skill set, but 6'10" or 6'11" as opposed to 6'8". That would be unlikely, but the possibility of that happening is just absurd. On top of his body growing, his game should just continue to get better as well. Outside of his lack of athletic traits, almost every hole in his game is completely fixable, and should only get better with NBA coaching. If his shooting and handle continue to develop, he's going to be a really complete offensive player. And with him being so young, with a track record of substantially improving, I think he will be able to develop in both of those areas. For that reason, I'm willing to say that Josh Giddey is a top 5 prospect in this year's NBA draft. His otherworldly playmaking and passing combined with his scoring potential make me very optimistic that he'll be one of the best players from this year's class. He's cut from the same cloth as other jumbo playmakers like Luka Doncic and Rookie of the Year LaMelo Ball. He likely won't be as good as either of those guys, but he can still be a high-level player. It's rare to find 6'9" guys who can run your offense. Giddey is going to have the ball a ton at such a young age. He's going to make plenty of mistakes early on, but I think he's going to learn and grow because of that. Giddey could be the next great offensive engine, and is someone that will end up one of the best players in the 2021 NBA Draft. That's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on Josh Giddey. More awesome draft content is on the way for you guys, so make sure to stay tuned and have a great rest of your day.